Hello, this is Snow City Tarot, and I'm here with a pick a card reading. So, I want to first thank all my new subscribers and my commenters. I do appreciate your support. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It does help the channel grow, and it helps me thrive as well and produce more content for you. So, today's topic is going to be a prediction for July 2021. This isn't going to be specific to any particular topic like love or business or anything, but if it comes through, I'll let you know. So, these will be a little bit more general so that you can kind of get a better overview of what's happening. And more people can kind of get an idea of what's going to happen in their month. So I'm not going to be going into too many crazy specifics, but hopefully it'll be just enough for you to get something out of it. So before I start, because this is a predictive reading, I wanted to ask if you guys could do me a favor and record down in the comments section what number you picked. And hopefully by the end of the month, you can come back, you'll remember to come back and tell me whether or not it happened. That's my big thing is I know that my personal readings are accurate, but I'm always sort of curious what happens with pick-a-card readings because people will come in and they'll pick their pile and then, they don't really follow up with me, so I don't know if it comes true or not. So I was hoping you guys could do me a little favor and come back in a month and see if it happened, or tell me that it happened. So, I have 5 piles today. This will be pile 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, I have 5 today. So please take a deep breath. Ask your guides, guardians, angels, ancestors, whoever it is that you connect with, whatever source you connect to. Ask them what will happen in July 2021 and try to remove any expectations for what you're going to be seeing this month. That way you'll be able to get an accurate picture of what it is that will happen without getting your personal wishes kind of mixed into it. So once you're done doing that, you can find the timestamp in the description box below, and I will start with pile 1. Hey group 1, this is the Amethyst group. This is your prediction for July 2021. Sorry, I got some water on my table. So, what have we got here? So, we've got the 3 of Cups. We have the, I'll go challenges first and then blessings because we can follow it up with something nice. So, we've got the 10 of Wands, it says Lord of Oppression. We have the 3 of Wands, which says Lord of Established Strength. And then we have the 9 of Wands, 9 of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. And then for advice, we've got the Hierophant and my little advice card that I make, and it says, you know what to do, basically. So, for July 2021, I really think that despite challenges that might be bothering you this coming month, I think that you're going to be in a really good spot. Any challenges that you're going to encounter will probably be easily overcome, and I have a feeling that you will probably have support from your friends to help you get through things. So for this, you could be seeing a lot of opportunities to connect with other people. You could be seeing deep friendships beginning to grow, connections being formed with other people. I'm seeing really positive social expansion here, and that's going to be just the general energy of this month for you. You'll be in the mood to socialize, in the mood to make friends, to go out, to have fun. And it's like, even if because just to be aware, I have challenges for every single pile. Just everybody's going to have ups and downs in their month. But I feel like these ups and downs are not going to be they're not going to be a downer. You're not going to let them get to you. And I think that that's what we're seeing here with this 3 of Cups, is that you're going to have the right support. You're going to have the right, it's almost like you'll have a wealth of support, a wealth of love, a wealth of happiness when it comes to this month. Mostly social. Maybe it's a financial, but I'm seeing this probably mostly as a social thing because we do have some cups over here as well. So for challenges of this month, though, you have this 10 of Wands and then this 3 of Wands. So from what it looks like is you may have overlooked something maybe recently in the past, or you may overlook something this month. You could overlook a detail or some kind of contract or something like that could go unanalyzed, basically. You didn't look at something. And as a result, I think that you are going to be overburdened or really bothered by the fact that you made this mistake. And I think, I'm sorry. 3 of Wands. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought I put down something else for some reason. But because I think that you'll be either, I really think, though, that it might be something that you did this month on accident. And I think that the repercussions of that will continue on into this month as well. I don't sense that this is something that, I mean, it could be something that comes up spontaneously if you're not familiar with it right now. And if that is the case, you do have the opportunity now to make sure that you double check all of your work. For those of you that kind of know what happened and kind of know what you did and are kind of grappling with this in the month of June, I think that July you're going to carry it in, but I think that it is going to come to an ending here with the 10 of Wands. Thankfully, the 10s are those ending cards, but I think that it's going to come after a time of a little bit of anxiety and angst over the mistake that you might have made. You might be really beating yourself up, though, and just a little bit. And I think, though, that might also tie into the blessing this month, because I don't think you're letting it, like I said, this is your general energy. I think that you might actually, through this, see where your support system is, who is really there for you. You'll find out who your friends are. And I think that in the long run, this challenge will be rather minor, but what you pull from it is going to be really impactful and really helpful to know. So, and I'll move into the blessings here, because I think the blessings are tied to this, because for your blessings, we have this 9 of Swords, and you're probably thinking, oh my God, well, how'd the 9 of Swords be a blessing? What the hell? Well, the 9 of Swords is probably a blessing in this way that you might be recovering, because the Queen of Cups could be here representing you or somebody that you know that is going to help you. But when 9 of Cups is in 9 of Swords is in a positive position, it turns into something that is closer to like recovery, especially from some pretty heavy stuff. So for those of you that are just dealing with heavier topics as of recently, I think that, a lot of that will start to become resolved, and that may be because you meet a new friend, or you meet somebody who is going to take care of you, or help you through something, counsel you a little bit. So I think that you may just, honestly, you may make a new friend. Three of Cups can talk about, groups of people, but 3 of Cups is also expansion. Like 3 is the number of creation here. So when you've got this one here, I'm thinking that this may be indicating you'll make a new friend or make a new ally here. Somebody that you can really be supported by, somebody that you can really lean on. I wanted to take a quick look at just this a little bit more, like what area is this going to be most affecting you? What area is going to be most in focus for the month of July for group 1? Whoops. Okay, 12th house. So we got 12th house. So this can be your mental health. This can be accidents, doing things, basically being your own undoing, I guess, is what I want to say. It can talk about people that were maybe in the background that might have been not your best friend. It can talk about people doing kind of shady stuff, but because this is just a small reading for a larger group of people, I think that you want to take that and maybe bring it down a notch from in the department of drama. It's probably not going to be as dramatic as I'm making it sound, but you may have to face the music when it comes to maybe like a small an error that you might have made. You might have to accept that. You might have to some of you might actually have to apologize, though, with the the 12th house. 12th house is absolution. So that can be, an area of, it can be a house that indicates imprisonment, but also freedom and release. So I'm thinking that you might be freed up from something that's been nagging at you or eating at you for the last couple weeks, perhaps, or even longer. So for advice, though, you've got the Hierophant, and use logic. You know what to do. Honestly, I think that the advice here is going to be pretty obvious to you. When the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do and exactly who to go to. And I think that the advice here is mostly to go to somebody. The Hierophant here is usually our spiritual guide. He can represent, society, our culture, the way our family does things, the way that, we've been trained to do things. The things that are most widely accepted as well. But this does talk about creed. Creed, community, people that believe the same things, people that have the same goals. So I think that it might be telling you to reach out to somebody who understands what you're going through, understands where you come from. So for some of you, if you're seeking out a counselor, maybe you're going to seek out a counselor that comes from the same background as you. Or if you're having trouble at work, you may go to a senior person at work and get advice from them because they kind of know what you're going through. And I think that this person is going to provide you a lot of help here. And in turn, they might wind up being your friend here as well. These could also be two different people for some of you. For some of you, it'll be the same. But I'm seeing this theme here that you're going to have somebody that knows what to do, that has the logic and has the right mental state to be like, oh, easy, I can solve it this way. Just do this or this. And I think that, that'll help you out for the rest of the month. I think that'll be the major issue this month is just knowing when to go in and get help or ask for help and doing it as soon as you realize there's an issue. And that way you can kind of mitigate any trouble or any damage that might be caused by this whoopsie daisy here. So that is your reading for the month of July 2021. I hope that this resonates with you. Please leave the number that you picked down in the comment section and let me know if it resonates with you. Hopefully you'll remember to come back at the end of the month and tell me whether it did or not. But anyway, if you would like to get a private reading with me, you can contact me at Snow City. Oh, sorry. You can contact me in my Etsy. The link to that is down in my description box, or you can catch me on Keen, schedule an appointment with me if you wish, but make sure to email me at snowcitytarot@gmail.com. Let me know when you want to meet with me, and I will make sure that I'm available at that time. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to move on to group 2. Hi, group 2. This is the obsidian. Oh, is it obsidian? No, I'm sorry. It's black onyx. Anyway, so what's going to be happening for you in July 2021? So let's start here. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. We've got the King of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles. And we have the 5 of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles. And then for your advice, we've got the Lovers, and then my little card here that is called Teamwork. That's my little handwritten cue card thing. So for the month of July, I think that it's going to be a little bit touchy or difficult. I mean, don't get too wrapped up in the difficulty here. I think it's not going to be like a shock, like, oh my God, somebody died or anything like that. Nothing like that. It's going to be like little annoyances, to be honest. I don't think that it's anything that's going to be so dramatic that you can't handle it. It's just more of like, oh my God, is this really happening right now? So I wouldn't be too worried because you've got the 2 of Pentacles here. So it's 2 of Pentacles problems. So it's like, do I pick this thing or do I pick that thing? Oh my God, I wish they would just choose for me. I don't want to deal with this. I don't have enough money here. Ugh, if I spend it here, then I can't go and do this. It's kind of like a mild inconvenience. The other thing that we could see here is just like being overwhelmed perhaps with some other circumstance around you that you have to manage. I'm not seeing that it's something that's happening directly to you per se. It's more of like you dealing with the aftermath of somebody else's BS. So, and the reason why I'm saying that is because we have the King of Wands and then the Nine of Pentacles here in your challenge position for this month. So, King of Pentacles, I think, or not, sorry, King of Wands here. Oh, and by the way, it says Prince of the Chariot of Fire, and then this one says Lord of Material Gain. So I do think that, in some ways it can be relating to the material world here. We do have 3 cards that are pentacles, so it does kind of indicate that there's some issue here in the balance regarding your material possessions, maybe your body, maybe the things that you want. It's not necessarily money all the time, but it could be like, really longing for a back massage or something like that. Things that are tangible that we can put in our hands. So when it comes to the challenges, we've got this King of Wands who kind of appears to be causing some kind of trouble for you. King of Wands is in most cases on his best day a really nice guy, very, honorable, proud, and all those things. But when he's in a challenging position, he could be kind of pitching a fit at times. He might be kind of bossy or moody maybe. And with the Nine of Pentacles, we could see them sort of not feeling too content with what they have. They may feel like they're missing out on something, they're lacking something. They may be they could also be sort of pressuring you maybe in a financial way. Sometimes the Nine of Pentacles can talk about trouble with like getting a loan or trouble regarding or surrounding a loan. So, or just some kind of larger amount of money. We're not talking about like your whole wealth, but, something that's sizable enough for you to be like, oh man, what a pain. So for some of you, it'll be that. For others of you, it'll be this person just kind of like being a poop basically all month. Maybe they're not being totally upfront with you, or maybe they're constantly whining about this one particular problem with their money, and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do about it? I really can't help you with this. In some ways, I think that this person could also be asking you for help, because help is a big thing here. I'm seeing it with this here. I'm seeing it with the Lovers. I'm seeing it with, here as well. It can just be a little bit of financial assistance here or there, or just you being able to kind of, come in and maybe do a little bit of this or that, like chores to make somebody's life a little easier, or, I see you doing acts of service in some way to maybe somebody else, somebody who needs it. Though, because they could be in a real pickle. This doesn't mean that this person is having some kind of petty problem, but you being kind of removed from it are not going to be totally as invested in it, but you're trying to be like a good friend, a good family member, what have you, and help them. So when it comes to the benefit here, I do like what's coming in, the blessings that are coming in is, I think that, and here's another way to see this as well. This could pertain to you, and then this is like your partner here. There could be like a longing for this partner as well, the material aspect of them, if you know what I mean. That can cause some issues there as well. But I do see that it is turning around. So for some of you, if this is like a love issue, I think that you'll be able to kind of get out of that romantic funk. Because the 5 here being a blessing is talking about a change of emotional status. So you're going from mopey to suddenly being, less mopey, or now being able to see on the bright side because somebody's kind of throwing you a bone here with the Six of Pentacles. If it's a financial situation, you're seeing help here in a financial form. Somebody giving you charity. Somebody saying, here, you can have this. I don't need it. I'm here to help, So, and if it's not you getting it, that's you giving it and kind of taking the role of the savior this month and providing this for this very important service act or financial contribution to somebody. And they'll be very grateful for it. So it will look quite good. And I think that, with the 6 here, the benefit might be more long-term, just because, if you're sitting there like, why would me giving charity be like be be like a benefit or a blessing for me. What? I think it could be saying that there could be some long-term gain. I mean, we do have the implication of a long-term problem with the Nine of Pentacles because it can take a little bit longer with this type of card. So I think that this is something that will come back to you maybe a couple months from now, and it'll benefit you. Like, you'll get good karma from this. So what's your advice for this situation? Share. Lovers is about two people being together. It can be about sharing, making good decisions to help other people, cooperating. And with teamwork here as well, we're seeing that two people joining forces and working together here. So you're going to overcome your problem if you choose to work with this person rather than kind of sweep them under the rug. And it'll really benefit you in the long term. I wanted to take one more thing here because I did a house. I was able to see, so what area of life is this going to be focusing around? This may or may not resonate for everyone. So let's take a look. What area of life is this going to kind of focus on? 5. Okay, so for some of you, it is romance. For some of you, it could be a romantic related thing, or it could be hobby, gambles, risks. Again, you could be looking at finances here with the 5th house. So it could be kind of like taking risks with money, or just risks in general. But I think in the end, it'll work out pretty good for you. I think that things will resolve, and you'll at least start to lay the foundation for something better at, maybe in August or September, even if it doesn't seem like it right away. But it does look like it's going to be surrounding, it could be children as well. Children, your creative endeavors, self-expression. It could have something to do with gambles, like I said, or romance and dating, and pretty much anything that could be pleasurable. So if you want to let me know if this resonates with you, you can type in what pile you picked, and then come back at the end of the month and let me know if it came true. I would love to hear from you. So if you're interested in getting a private reading with me, you can get me in my Etsy shop. You can find me at the link below in the description box. If you'd like to get a keen reading with me, a live one-on-one, please schedule a time with me through snowcitytarot@gmail.com, and we can meet together and we can do it over keen. And then, is that everything? Oh, yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe if you like my work. And I'm going to move on to group 3. Hi, group 3. This is for those of you that picked the Green Adventuring. What's happening in July 2021 for you? So let's take a look. We got the 4 of Pentacles. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. It says Lord of the Wild and Fertile Land. We've got the Blasted Tower, which is the tower, but it says Lord of the Hosts of the Mighty. We've got the King of Cups, the Fool. And then for advice, we've got the 4 of Cups and the 2 of my cards. These actually, I was only taking 1, but I got 2 for these, so I just decided to take them. Pay attention and retreat. So what am I seeing here? Oh, quickly though, I wanted to take a look at what area of life this could be pertaining to. Okay, we got 12. So I'll come back to that. So we've got the 4 of Pentacles. So your general energy for this month is going to be pretty reserved. I don't think you're going to be making a lot of big, bold moves or big, bold actions. I think that you're going to kind of endure anything that comes your way with a sense of, dignity and grace. And you're just going to say, nope, I'm just going to sit in place. I'm not going to do anything crazy or out of the norm. And I'll wait for this to all blow over. I'm kind of thinking of the line from Shaun of the Dead, where I don't know the whole line, but he's like talking about, he keeps repeating his plan where he's gonna, go pick up his girlfriend and then go back to the pub and like wait for it all to blow over. And that's kind of what I was thinking about. This is you kind of hunkering down in your own little personal bunker and just saying, you know what? I can just sit here and wait for it to pass. And I think that for the most part, you will do that. And that's what the advice is saying as well. Now, what's interesting is we have the 12th house. So when I'm saying hunkering down, you could very well be hunkering down in a physical way, because the 12th house can be like imprisonment. Not saying you're going to prison, but it's a place where you kind of become a recluse. You stay and just sort of be alone with yourself and be introspective, and you don't really do anything. And it's a good house for reflection and kind of getting your ducks in a row, having that silence to do it. Now, for the challenges for this month, we have the Knight of Pentacles and we have that Tower card. Don't be alarmed. I don't think that this is going to be anything that is super dramatic. I like to say that because I know people get kind of nervous around the Tower card because nobody likes surprises, especially not in the challenge position. So just try to keep your head in the right place. That for most of you, majority of you, this isn't going to be a crazy shock, like your plane's going to go down or anything like that. And I'm just saying plane. I'm not having a prediction or anything. I'm not, don't, if you're driving or flying somewhere, don't worry. I'm not jinxing you. So I just want you to be aware that it's never as bad as it seems. And this is me watching predictions come to fruition. Very rarely are they as bad as it looks. And I've had a lot of predictions that have come true. So Knight of Pentacles is saying to me that this is somebody that's kind of in your world here. I think this is an actual person. For some of you, now this is going to be interesting because this can be seen two ways. And because it's a group of you, it'll be one or the other for you guys. One is that your challenge is going to be kind of holding down the fort, in the sense that you're the reliable party. You're the responsible party that is being asked to keep something from crumbling around you. The Tower can oftentimes suggest that you put money away in a little nest egg or a rainy day fund or something like that, just to keep money on hand just in case there's like a what if. And so your challenge this month could be very well just be saving up for the what if, or preparing to save for the what if and maybe feeling daunted by it. The other way to see this is that you could have somebody that is too meek and too soft-spoken to speak up when they need to. And as a result, we have this Tower of just this meekness, this inability to get off their butt and do something. And as a result, you have some kind of problem after that. So you may be having to deal with taking care of their mess afterwards. Now, this could be, if you want signs to kind of point out who the troublemaker is going to be, this is a Virgo usually, and then you could probably attribute it to some other signs like Capricorn or Taurus. So, this person could be a little bit of a pain in the butt. And honestly, like I said, 12th house can sometimes be sabotage. It can be self-sabotage, but I also think that it can be sabotage from hidden enemies as well. Now, I don't think that this person is your hidden enemy. It's kind of just saying that somebody is working in the background against what you want. It doesn't mean that they're plotting against you necessarily. It just means that this is something that could kind of come out of the blue, and you would not expect somebody to do this or act this way. So it's not necessarily saying that you're going to have somebody who's going to just full on Caesar you, but just somebody that you're man, did you have to do that? I wasn't expecting you to do that. What a mess now, So there's a little bit of a disappointment probably surrounding this person. And as a result, maybe you have to pay a fine or something. Maybe you have to help them out of a rut. Maybe you have to help yourself out of a rut. But I'm seeing you saving your money here. So there is this focus on saving up for some kind of thing, or saving up in regards to some kind of event maybe, or some kind of big payment possibly. So that's kind of what I'm seeing your energy in here. If it's not a payment though, it is just saying that you're going to be hunkering down and kind of just waiting till the problem goes away. Now for your blessing, I don't really see this being part of the challenge. The last two piles, they kind of tied into each other. And I'm kind of feeling like this is something separate for some reason. Because even the advice really seems to be focusing here, but this doesn't seem like a blessing that's coming in relating to this. And so we've got the King of Cups and then the Fool card. The King of Cups is your sweetie pie. This is somebody that you really, really like a lot. Now, it doesn't have to be a love relationship or something like that. However, I'm really getting the vibe that it might be, only because we have this Fool card here. So, I mean, if we wanted to make it non-love related, like if there's no way that somebody's coming into your life, this could be you like just joking with a friend that you really, really like, or having, or like literally being foolish or being a little bit of a joker, or starting some project with like a male family member that you really care about. So, and this could be something. Maybe you go on a trip with a family member or male friend or family member as well. For those of you though, where you're kind of waiting on somebody, but you're sort of like not really seeing any changes or progress, this might be saying that this person kind of comes around and you might start a new thing with them. You might actually, they might initiate something with you, perhaps saying like, hey, let's try this out. Let's experiment. Let's throw caution to the wind and try something new. And, and I'm trying to think that this is the challenge. I mean, in some cases, the challenge doesn't necessarily have to be totally negative. This person could come by and drop the bomb on you and be like, hey, I really, really like you, and I know that this, and this don't add up, and it's really difficult for this to work. And that's kind of where the destruction of the Tower card is, where you're like, oh man, now I gotta reschedule everything. So it could just simply say that your plans are all messed up and stuff like that. So, but I do see some kind of positive interaction here. Fun is another thing when I see the Fool in a positive setting. This is like fun, excitement, curiosity, going out and exploring and seeing new things. So, and you're doing it with somebody that you really, really like. So what's your advice for the month of July 2021? We've got the Four of Cups. We have pay attention. Don't let small things grow into huge by ignoring it, and then retreat. It's okay to take a breather. So, it could be a full whirlwind this month, and, whether you actually get to achieve this Four of Pentacles, you may really, really want it, but you may not be able to get it for one reason or another. And so it's saying that maybe if you need to take a vacation, if you need to take a breather, if you need to sit out just for your own mental health, this is what it's suggesting you do. Your own mental health could also be something that's sort of like spiraling out of control. If you don't take a me day or a self-care day, you may explode and, just be very destructive because you've kind of let things, dip, drip, 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 on your mind, just like chipping away little by little at your patience, and you may actually just lose it. That's a possibility. And that's why it's kind of saying that you need to take time out. Four of Cups is an introspective card, but it's not like spiritual introspection or introspection. It's more like, man, I gotta sit out and just kind of put my mind my P's and Q's, put my things in order. It's kind of like taking a mental inventory of your practical everyday life. So it's not a particularly spiritual card, in my opinion, here. So it could be saying that you may need to just take a day off to do some chores, even, to get your house in order. I know some people kind of they live life so fast doing their day job that they actually don't take care of themselves or anything that's going wrong at home, which could be a lot. And for some of you, maybe these two together are indicating that there could be some kind of small damage in your house that you're you can't take care of it until you take time off. Like maybe you need a repairman to come. And it's like with the Knight of Pentacles, it's kind of like dropping the ball on that diligence that you usually have because you just haven't been able to pay attention because everything else is sort of just grabbing your attention. So that's what I'm seeing for your July 2021 group 3. If you would like a private reading with me, you can contact me on Etsy. Oh, also, before I do the rest of the spiel, put in the comments below what your number was, and then come back at the end of the month and tell me if it came true or not. But back to the spiel. You can also get me on Keen. I'm snowcitytarot@gmail.com. You can email me through that Gmail account and set up a time, and we can talk on Keen live. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And with that said, I'm going to move on to group 4. Hi, group 4. This is for those of you that picked the hematite. This is your forecast for July 2021. So let's take a look here. So you've got the Tower. Calm down, don't freak out. We've got the Hermit. We've got the 5 of Wands. We have the 4 of Swords, the Queen of Swords. And then for advice, we've got the High Priestess, 2 of Wands, and my card that says defend, take a stand. So it's going to be an interesting month for you. I'm gonna say, like I've been telling other people who got the Tower, it's not nearly as bad as you always expect. I've gone through a lot of journaling in my time. I journaled every single day almost for the last 2 or 3 years, and I've been doing my own predictions for myself and watching them come to fruition. The Tower is not always what it seems. I've gotten the Tower plenty of times for predictions, and it's not nearly as horrible. I think maybe like 1 out of all of the times I got it was like truly like shocking. But so just keep that in mind, that the chances of this being like out of left field, holy crap, is unlikely. You may just have a time when you kind of are like, oh, I have to think completely differently about things, myself, my world, the people around me. So, and sometimes the reason why you have to think this way is because something may have happened that was a little shocking, but it changed your mind about stuff. So, just keep that in mind. So, I'll just start here. I'm going to take this die and try to figure out what area of life this is going to be relating to. So, and it may be this area of life for everybody. It may not, but just take what you can from it. So what area of life will this be in revolving around for group 4? 2. So this is the second house. So this is interesting because this can talk about our personal self-worth. It can talk about small time money. It can talk about plenty of things, lots of things. So there could be talks about your material items within your house, not necessarily your property, but like, couches, chairs, the money in your wallet, the money in your bank account. I don't see this being like anything involving like big property or anything like that, but it can also talk about your principles, your values. And I'm seeing that here, that might be a big issue here, is that your values may end up clashing with somebody else. Because in your challenges, you have the Hermit, and it says, what's it say? Magus of the voice of light, and then Lord of strife would be the 5 of Wands here. So 5 of Wands is a conflict, that's fighting, that's infighting. So you might be actually fighting against somebody that you are close with, you work with, might be fighting with a family member or a friend, somebody that is just not agreeing with you, somebody that isn't seeing eye to eye. This person could be acting stupidly in one way, as well, because the Hermit can say that, advice isn't being heeded. Now, like, somebody could have warned you, and maybe you don't take their advice, and as a result, you get this Lord of Strife. You become, and in this Tower moment, and you kind of realize, like, oh crap, I made a bad decision. Another way that this can manifest this month is that you've got a friend who makes a bad decision, and then, and you might have told them, like, hey, I told you so, you shouldn't have done that, and they do it anyway, and then suddenly we've got this conflict here where you guys are trying to duke it out in one way or another. Could be a physical fight, who knows? If that's the world you live in, where physical fights happen, this could suggest that there might be a physical fight regarding some kind of principles or value system. Like, it gets that heated. And it might change the way that you see yourself. It might change the way you see other people. Might change the way that people see you. And, you might want to, I want to say though, because this is challenging and I do see this, just be careful. Because I know the astrology for the first 2 weeks of July are going to be difficult. We've got a Mars opposition to Saturn, and then we've got a square from Uranus to Saturn to Uranus to Mars, so that's called a T-square. This is usually a very tough time for people. We've got the Uranus at play here with Mars, so that can sometimes mean explosive activity, fights at times, fights with the man because Saturn's involved, so that can mean authority. That can mean your bosses. That can mean older parents, things like that. Maybe it's in the realm of, or it's surrounding the topics about money, perhaps, or value systems, or your self-worth. Somebody could step on your toes and really trigger some kind of explosive response from you regarding because your self-worth is being affected, or it has been affected after a long period of time. Some of these things can happen after it builds and builds and builds, and then suddenly it just goes, explodes. So you want to be careful. Don't do anything crazy. Don't take any shortcuts. Don't do anything stupid. Just try to be as responsible as you can and patient as well. And you're not going to want to be patient at all because Mars is there opposing Saturn. Saturn's there, like, telling you to, like, clean your room, and Mars is like, screw you, Dad, like, I'm gonna do what I want, and then you guys have a fight. That's kind of like what that dynamic does. So, and I, this could very well be an older person in your life is acting stupidly, immature, getting under your skin intentionally, perhaps. So you might be butting heads with somebody that doesn't agree with you, or it's like they're notorious for it as well, maybe. And then this might be the last straw. There might be that tension there. So what is the blessing coming in? Well, it's going to be interesting here because the Four of Swords and then the Queen of Swords here kind of indicate that the greatest thing that will happen is not being in it, and not being in this. You may get some time to recover, feel better, emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever that case is. You will be able to also have some time to yourself to kind of really figure out what goes on, and you might come to a realization. You have the Queen of Swords, and she's somebody that transforms through thought. They have these, I don't know if this one has it. Sometimes there's butterflies in the Queen of Swords, her card, and the butterflies represent that sort of inner transformation, right? So the Queen of Swords turns into this powerful, wonderful person, but she comes from a very vulnerable place, that little pupa, larva, caterpillar stage. So I'm thinking that you may develop a maturity very quickly this month. You may develop a character trait of saying no to people very quickly. Also, the Queen of Swords here is a Libra, but also can represent, Gemini, Aquarius, but more often than not, it's a Libra card. So this may mean that you have to be very rational and very balanced. This could also mean that this person is coming in and kind of relieving you of some kind of trouble. They may kind of be counseling you or easing your mind a little bit. You might have someone in your corner with you, basically. So if you're up against someone else, you're not completely alone, is what I'm seeing. And this person actually may take some of the slack for you, which would be really like easing, really nice, really kind of them to because I think that you're going to be kind of in like a little bit of, you're going to be a little distraught, I want to say. So this could be somebody steals something. I mean, because the second house can, mean your possessions. And I'm just thinking, like, what could this possibly be? If for those of you that might be in a position where you could get mugged, I could definitely see this as something like that, where, someone gets you alone and then kind of smacks you and takes your purse and runs away, or takes your wallet and runs away. And that's kind of shocking to you, and you may be sort of like traumatized by that and have to take a breather and take a rest or something. So just so you know, the future is not fixed. You have the choice not to go out if you're thinking about going to a shady area of town. So, you know, if somebody's like, hey, meet me at 3 a.m. in this alley, you can say no. That's not your destiny. You know, this sort of minor shit is not your destiny. So you can always say no. You always have free will. There are some things that are fated, unfortunately, but this isn't one of them. I'm thinking this is something that you could probably avoid by taking safety precautions. So just try to do that the best that you can. Don't be out anywhere late. Carry your keys in your hand. You know, do the things that you need to do to stay safe, and you'll avoid this. So what else? I kind of want to see if there's one more card I can take for blessings, because you got a rough pile. I'll admit that. Can I get one more card for blessings for group 4 for July 2021? What other blessings are coming in for them this month? King of Pentacles. Okay, so you do have another person that is looking out for you. King of Pentacles is, he can be a father sometimes, somebody who's taking care of you. This person is very nurturing. He is, you know, while he is a king, he embodies a feminine sign. All earth signs are female. So while he is very masculine, he has this air where he can grow and nurture as being represented by earth. So he can provide for you too, probably. So you're not going to be completely alone. You might have this person who's willing to give you what they can give you, to take care of you and make sure that you're secure and you feel good, you feel safe. This person will protect you. So you are being looked out for. You don't have to worry about that. If it feels like the whole world is against you this month, just know that you do have these two people looking out for you. This person is usually a Taurus, but can be a Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo. So what's your advice for this month? We've got the Two of Wands, and then we have the High Priestess. You know, this can talk about making plans and trusting your gut. This, and with defense, take a stand. This is saying that you need to act defensively. So this is not the month that you need to make a stand. I mean, it says take a stand, but not right now. This is more calling to the defend part, just based on the rest of this reading. So this is not the month for you to show someone what's what. This is not the month for you to get into fights. This isn't a great time for you to start some shit with someone. Okay, so you want to play it safe, and that's what it's saying here. Is with this two of Wands is like you kind of making decisions, making plans for something going on, and your High Priestess is saying listen to your intuition. If it seems weird, it seems weird. Don't do it. Don't take it. If somebody says something and you're like, I feel like this could escalate into a really nasty situation, and then you can choose to not engage. You can choose to not engage and then kind of avoid it. So I just see some kind of hostility coming your way, and it looks like it's something that can be easily sidestepped by not engaging. And you may think that, oh, I got to say something right now. But chances are that'll probably be your ego, because Mars is being affected by Uranus right now, that square. So your ego is probably going to be saying, oh, no, this is absolutely the most important thing ever. I got to say something. I have to act. I have to do. And really, you really don't need to. Once you let these things pass, give it like, a week, come back to it, and then ask yourself, does it really need to be addressed? And then you'll be able to determine the right answer from there. So I want to thank you for watching. If you want, put this number down in the description box saying that you chose it, and come back at the end of July and see if it came true. Let me know if it came true. If you want a private reading with me, you can go to my Etsy shop. It's down in the description box below. If you want to catch me on Keen for a live one-on-one, just email me first at snowcitytarot@gmail.com, and we can set up a time and I'll meet you there. I want to thank you all for watching. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And with that said, I'm going to move on to pile 5. Okay, group 5, Malachite people. What's going on in July 2021? So, what's going on? No. What do we think? Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups for, the general energy that you'll be in this month. We have the Chariot and the 2 of Wands, and then we also have the High Priestess and then the 4 of Wands. And then for your advice, I've got one tarot card with, this is the Chariot here, and my advice cards, unfortunately, there's a hair on my advice card, are a little bit not so nicely worded sometimes. So don't take offense if it sounds accusatory. It very might well be, but we'll see in just a second here. So we've got this Ten of Cups energy for what you will be experiencing this month. It looks really freaking good. Honestly, the worst that could happen this month is delays, really. I feel like with this Ten of Cups, is this happiness is kind of like on its way. It's signed, it's sealed, you're just waiting for it to be delivered. It's really looking quite good. There's happiness, there's unity. For some of you, maybe you're reuniting with family. Maybe for some of you, you're reuniting with a loved one. You're finding happiness in your love relationships, and everything really feels pretty good. It could even feel so good that you get a little bit bored and maybe try to stir things up. Some of you might be that type where you're just like, this is too calm. I'm not going to deal. I can't deal with this. So it looks really, really positive. This is shared love too. So if there is somebody that's on your mind, you may find out that there is a shared feeling there. There's just a shared connection, true happiness. It's beautiful. It's a great energy to be in. You've kind of got this sky's the limit sort of feeling, walking on air type of thing. So let me see what area of life this may involve. It could still involve love and all that sort of stuff. It's just this kind of gives me more of a specific look, I guess. So what area of life is this going to affect? Ooh. 3. Oh, hey, okay. You're probably going to be traveling this month. I'm getting that so strongly here. It's kind of kooky, actually. So this means, so third house is a couple things. Third house is communication. It's your siblings. It can be your early education. It can be trade schools. For some of you, maybe this does have to do with like maybe an auto trade or something like that if you're doing mechanic stuff. I think for most of you, though, it's going to be a trip. And I think that it's going to be local-ish. Third house can generally be the area that you can travel to by car usually. It's not across oceans. I mean, I feel like so if you're living in Canada, then North America, Mexico, maybe the Caribbean, all that sort of stuff is going to be your like general location. Like because you don't really need to do like a big international flight usually. Like if you're going to the Caribbean, it's like a puddle jumper. Now, if you go to like, Russia from Canada, that's like ninth house stuff. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of local. So sadly, I can only tell you that if you're traveling, it could be anywhere from 20 minutes away to like, several hours away from, by a flight, within your continent. So, and it's probably someplace that's not going to be totally new that you've ever gone to, or it's going to be, and that's kind of why there's that familiarity of that neighborhood sort of vibe with the 3, that maybe it's a place that you've already been before. Even if it's not and it's a new place, I just feel like it's going to be real close. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. And so I think that, with that in mind, I'm getting the sense that maybe you're going to reunite with your family or meet up with them, a family, loved one, something like that. It cannot be anything else from what I see here. So if you're like, there's no way this is going to make sense, you should just pick a different pile. But this is kind of what I'm seeing. Not kind of, it's totally what I'm seeing. So you do have some challenges because everybody got a challenge pile, or challenge position, everybody got a challenge card. So, while it's here, it may be very small. And I think that it might be pretty small actually, because we have the Chariot and then the Two of Wands. So this is talking about travel and delays. And it talks about with the Two of Wands, making decisions that may have contributed to the delays. So you may be very stressed around traveling or decisions or anything like that. And it doesn't have to be travel necessarily. It could just be stress regarding doing something. Like you might have to do something in order to get, something that you want. And you may not be really functioning on all cylinders here. You are not combining, your logical and your emotional brain and, using that to move forward as a unit. You might be kind of moving with one or the other, like logically this makes sense, I'm going to go do this. But if your gut was saying something, you're not really listening to it, and it can cause delays or some kind of problems, some kind of hold up. That Two of Wands can be just like the repercussions of bad decisions. But I'm not seeing it as like something that's so bad that it's going to ruin your month, because in the end, I'm seeing Four of Wands. So this means that you make it to your destination, or you get what you want, or the celebration is had, because I am seeing that this can be some kind of celebration here. Maybe you're trying to go to a wedding. You got some place to be. But with this here, the Chariot, it's like, as your advice, it's telling you that your biggest obstacle this month is going to be lateness. Don't be late. Don't let things spiral out of control. Make sure that you just give yourself enough time to go do what you want to do. Give yourself enough time to plan what you got to pack and do all that, because it does, with accept it as your fault, it's kind of saying that you're rushing. You're maybe you're not being the most responsible person that day because you're just not thinking like that. And as a result, you're going to kind of throw yourself off and hold things up. Can I get any more details of what this challenge is? Queen of Swords. Yeah, maybe you're going to be seeing this person. This kind of looks like, with the Queen of Swords here, it says Queen of the Throne of Air. It could be saying that you are, thinking too rationally about something, and you're not listening to your intuition on something, and you're like, oh, crap, I made a mistake. It can also talk about a miscommunication. Maybe you say something too fast, and it kind of creates a small cascade of errors afterwards, but it's nothing like that's going to be totally catastrophic. And then, so with the things that you've got for blessings this month, you've got the High Priestess and the Four of Wands. Like I said, it looks like you make it to your destination. I think that and if you don't have a destination that you're going to, it does look like you have this interesting inner peace, this calmness, because the Four of Wands is stability here, and the High Priestess is that inner spiritual nature in all of us. And it looks like you're kind of at peace with this month. So you've got this mental relaxation. Like you might be a little bit stressed here, but like for the rest of the month, I'm seeing this really relaxed state of mind. So maybe you're on vacation. That's another thing, because I see this as a nice, enjoyable time. It can be a time at home where you're reuniting with people, but it can also just be in a place where you feel at home and you just feel like everything's complete and you've worked really hard for what you got. And so you earned your reward. This is like saying, oh, I earned this vacation. I earned this time of rest. I earned this celebration. I worked hard and I feel good. So you're really going to be like reaping the benefits of that labor that you've put in. And this is that moment where you after a really hectic week, you sink into a hot tub and you go, ah. And that's what it'll feel like. So it does look like you have a really relaxing month. And I think that you should be quite happy. I saw some piles that were a little bit more tumultuous, a little bit more scary. But this one is rather nice, and I think that you should be quite happy to get this. And if you're going on a trip, let me know. I'm really curious about the outcomes of these. Let me know if this is correct. Please go down into the description or the comment section and punch in what number you got. And then at the end of the month, come back and let me know if this happened. But for the most part, it looks like a nice trip. So anyway, if you like my reading, please like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate the support. If you like a private reading with me, you can catch me on Etsy. If you want a one-on-one with me, you can schedule one through Keen, or you can go on and talk to me through Gmail. My email is snowcitytarot@gmail.com, and from there you can let me know what time you'd like to meet up to have a one-on-one. So, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you guys have an excellent July, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.